Arthur, don't be coy. Tell me that you'll meet me for a drink. Good. Marvelous. The country club, what do you say, in about a half an hour? Marvelous. Bye. All set.
Seem pretty chummy with this Vandenberg guy.
Oh, we get along pretty well, all things considered.
Well, good. That way it should be pretty easy for you to get him to talk about the Lord Trust Fund.
Don't get your hopes up, all right? Arthur may not know whether this key that Todd has anything to do with the trust fund, this key his father gave him. So, and also, even if he does know, he may not tell me. He's already teased me about being so nosy.
Dorian, a lot is riding on this. Do whatever it takes, understood?
Do whatever it takes to get what?
I am so sorry. I know we had plans to play tennis, but I completely forgot that I'm supposed to be meeting Arthur Vandenberg here to discuss my book deal.
Oh, that's a bummer. But what was David talking about, doing whatever it takes?
David was advising me on the contract, the book advance that I want to get from Arthur. He was telling me that I ought to do whatever it takes to get what I'm worth.
I was really looking forward to that tennis match, spending a little time with you, though.
Well, honey, we're going to spend lots of time together. In the meanwhile, David has agreed to take my place. Didn't you, David?
Sure. Well, now, that is, if you don't mind hanging out with your old uncle for a little while.
No, that'll be fine.
All right.
That'll be fine. But I'll be waiting for you.
I believe that's a fair price, considering my reputation, the potential sales. What do you say?
I say yo-ho-ho.
Excuse me?
Well, it's what pirates say, isn't it? You're definitely a pirate, albeit an attractive one, to whom I cannot help but surrender. So hoist the Jolly Roger and run out the plank.
You'll pay what I'm asking?
Yes, Captain Blood, and yes, half the money will be paid in advance, and the contracts will be ready for signing after the new year. So, how does that sound?
Wonderful. I can't wait to start writing.
Well, I hope you've been giving the matter some thought already.
Yes, I've been scribbling notes, madly, day and night.
Well, you must remember what interests our readers most is the scandal. So, the book should focus on your marriage to Victor Lord, and the mysterious circumstances that surrounded his death, and the huge fortune he left to both you and his daughter Victoria. Money and mystery, sex and scandal, and don't hold back.
Yes, money is a fascinating subject. Especially when you consider the fact that Victor had any money left to leave anyone after he had set up all those trust funds for all his illegitimate children. Well, speaking of which, David Vickers is about to celebrate his 25th birthday soon. And yet, he hasn't mentioned a word to anyone.
Do most people talk about their birthdays?
When they're 25, they do. Now, Arthur, do you suppose that he doesn't know that he's going to inherit all that money?
Why is it that whenever we're together, you always find a way to bring that topic back to the trust fund?
Just curious.
Dorian, you're after something. And I think I know what it is.
Oh, here you are. A martini, very dry. Just the way you like it.
I know what you're up to.
You do?
Your interest in David Vickers goes beyond friendship. You have designs on him, don't you?
Why not? After all, he's very handsome, charming, and very sexy.
And about to become very, very rich.
That's always a plus, isn't it? Though, as I mentioned, he doesn't act like someone who's going to inherit a penny.
Well, what do you mean exactly?
Whenever the topic of his birthday comes up, he just gets very quiet, smiles, and fiddles with this key that he keeps on a chain around his neck. It's very odd behavior.
If it's got the key, He must know about the inheritance.
Arthur, do you know what the key is for?
Yes, Dorian, I rather think I do.
Well, how interesting. How very, very interesting. How about another martini?
Good game, Joey. I'm not good enough. You still beat me. That's a wicked backhand you've got.
Oh, I had a pretty good coach in high school. He said 90% of anything is concentration. You keep your mind in the game, nobody will beat you.
Are you trying to tell me I didn't have my mind on today's match?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, I admit I had my mind on something else.
Or maybe someone else?
It's just so weird, you know. I've never felt like this. I mean, the other day, Dorian postpones a tennis match. No big deal, right?
Probably not.
It drove me nuts. I mean, when we're not together, I can only think about the next time we're going to be together. I mean, it's crazy.
Sounds like love.
It is, but don't start with me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
I know what you're thinking. Same point of view of my whole family. You're against this relationship, but there's nothing that anyone can say or do to change the fact that we love each other.
Joey, I'm not going to try to change anything. I don't think anybody should.
You don't?
No. Look, I was wrong when I tried to make you stop seeing Dorian. You got to do what your heart tells you to do.
I think that's the best advice you've ever given me.
Oh, yeah? I got one more piece of advice, and I'm going to shut up. Be careful, Joey.
Of Dorian?
No, of love. Believe me, I learned the hard way. It's possible to love somebody too much for your own good.
Is that martini dry enough for you?
Perfect.
Good. Now, about this key that David has been dangling, do you really know what it's for, or are you just conjecturing?
You are a nosy little so-and-so.
I'm just curious by nature, and I'm a journalist. Now, Arthur, what about the key?
Well, as I told you, the quarterly interest payments from the trust fund have been made to the Lord Heir since he turned 18. And the money was sent to a numbered bank account in a bank.
Somewhere in the Midwest, you said?
Well, I thought so, but I'm really not sure. Now, this key that Mr. Vickers is dangling is quite probably the key to a safety deposit box in that bank. Now, there's an informed conjecture.
So, whoever holds the key does indeed hold the key to the trust fund.
And when he inherits the money, you'll be ready to make your move, won't you?
I plead the fifth.
Now, you'll get your claws into him, I know, but it won't last.
Why ever not?
Well, obviously, Vickers isn't your type at all.
Oh, really? And what is my type?
Well, I see you with someone more worldly and sophisticated.
Oh. Someone like you, Arthur.
I didn't say it.
You don't have to. Arthur, I promise you. Whoever may come or go, you will always be the light of my life.